That's a very good question. I mean, it's a good question because I think it happens to a lot of people. And then when they're not in the superconscious experience, when they're in their mind, because the mind, again, all of these things that happen in meditation, whatever joy we feel, all of those 8 attributes, whatever true peace we feel, the mind cannot relate to it. It's very important to remember that we spend the vast majority of our time in our logical, rational mind that wants to judge or figure out. That's why I was very careful to say just before, don't think if God doesn't come to you right away that he's not listening. Don't think that. That's a mistake. That's the rational mind saying, he must be displeased with me. He doesn't love me if he's not embracing me right now. The mind does that. The mind is so limited. It's limited in a way that's very hard to imagine until you transcend it in some ways and see it from an expanded state. Last night I was teaching a class on cynicism, and I wasn't teaching it on cynicism. I was teaching it on how to, I forget what Swamiji's word was. Does anybody? How to, it wasn't neutralize, but transcend. He uses some different word in his secrets books. It was part of the secrets class. But it was how to move beyond cynicism is what it was. And there was even the affirmation, week 52, we do these affirmations every week on high-mindedness, alluded to this, but there was some other place that I read in preparation for the class where Master talked about your view is so limited from the bottom of a mountain. If you're just starting, you have such a limited view, yet that's your reality. If you're just starting, even on a hike, if you think of it, you don't see that much from here, but from the mountain top, your view is so much more expanded. So it's very important to realize that the mind is functioning on the ground, and that's all it sees. And it figures things out from that perspective, and it feels true. They love me, they don't love me, they're critical of me, they're judging me. I can't do this, I'm good at that. All of the things that the mind does. And then we anthropomorphize God. Wow, I just got stuck on that word. I'm not even really sure I got it, but you have it. And we think that God is man-like, that he functions as we do. No, I mean, not at all. So beyond our ability, it's beyond our ability to think about it, but we have to remember that all the time. We cannot judge our spiritual experiences with our mind. Now, back to the question, lest you think I forgot. Those superconscious experiences that we have affect our spiritual, astral, I would say, spine. They do. They come with them, they have an energy, they're real, they change us forever. And it's like building something often. You lay down a foundation. You don't see the foundation of your house later, but it's essential. You don't see it, but you realize if the foundation shifts or cracks or whatever happens to it, your whole house is in jeopardy. That's part of the way that we grow spiritually. So we have those experiences, and it's very important to remember them as magnificent. Oh, that's where I'm going. That's what this spiritual effort is about. I've spoken of it often when I was just becoming conscious of a spiritual path. It was through an experience that I had with Swami Satchidananda. And it doesn't matter what happened with him or that workshop, but the experience with him threw me into a state. This was 44 years ago, where I was truly in an ecstatic state. I didn't know it then, I wouldn't have named it then, but I was in the world absolutely, only Master could have written Samadhi, because these things are so beyond words. But I only saw the light, the love, the joy. I saw the soul of each being, not the personality. This is a true story. My husband was so concerned about me that he wouldn't let me drive anywhere because I wasn't really grounded. I was just floating. I don't know how to explain it. I was in an altered state, and it was magnificent, and it lasted for 1 month exactly, and then I came out of it. And it was so painful for me. It was so painful to be back with this being, with this ego, with this level of consciousness, not that level of consciousness. But I came to understand, and I grieved for a while. I want to say that. I've had 43 more years to begin to be able to relate to that. I've had moments of it since, and moments could mean an experience, but to live in it for a month or to go there forever in this life, to make that much spiritual progress, I long for it. I long for it. And I've made a great commitment to do as much as I possibly can in this life to get there again. But what I came to see about it and believe about it is that Master was showing me what it is that I'm working towards. It's like helping a child walk with a piece of candy. That's how I thought of it. It was so sweet. Now, I can say, my mind just popped in, I could be very embarrassed about the time I've wasted, really, because as I said last night in my class, enlightenment doesn't really take time. It can come in a moment. But clearly, I haven't done all of what I could have done to get even closer to it. And there are many times in my life I had this experience on Master's birthday, and I'm trying to manifest it now, where I've said, stop everything else, not stop it like you can't work or you can't serve, but quit thinking of it as something separate. It's all God. Practice God every minute of every day, every second of every day. God, doing this with God. That's, oh God, here you are. Everything. For myself, meditate longer. Take more time alone in seclusion. Do all those things for me. This is this soul. You know for your soul. Yes, if they were real, they were real. I don't know what they were, but I'm just going to believe they were real, and you haven't fallen anywhere. You're here this morning. You're spending a Saturday listening to spiritual questions and some part of the answer to them because you are caring about your path, because you're caring about your soul think of all the things you could be doing this morning instead of being here. But you're here. It speaks volumes. So I would never think, please don't hold yourself that way. We actually, we can fall. We can do terrible things, and move backwards. But most souls don't. Swamiji has told us this. We can make a lot of mistakes, but Master himself has said he does not care about our mistakes. He's not even noticing them. He's not looking at them. He's looking at our intention. So don't ever think, don't let those thoughts come, don't get sidetracked that we're a bad person, that we've fallen, that we've done something that's inexcusable. That's impossible. That's impossible for the soul. It cannot happen. Get away from it. As Krishna said, get away from my ocean of suffering. Get away from that suffering as quickly as you can. When it comes back, remind yourself, it's not real. That's not what's real. What's real is our love for God. The soul is love for God. That's the only thing. So do whatever you can do, all of us. I'm speaking to myself as I'm saying it, to not be judgmental of ourselves, to not be critical of ourselves, to be honest when we make a mistake. Yesterday I was out walking, and just in the middle of the walk, it came to me that a few weeks ago, in a discussion that I was having with somebody else, that I didn't treat that person well. I wasn't mean. I didn't say anything ugly or bad or mean. But if I pulled up all of the yamas right now, I would find the one, maybe it's non-stealing. Because in that discussion, I didn't give her enough room to express herself. I didn't let her do that and then work with her heart's desire. I jumped into the conversation in a very limited way. And it came to me. And I just said to myself, my goodness, you have to write her a letter of apology. And I will. I haven't had the moment since then, which is what we can do. It's genuine to offer an apology, a true apology. That's not how I want to behave. And I'm so sorry that I limited you. And then she'll get to do with it what she'll do with it. But then I have to put it down. And I have to move on. And no, that's not how I want to behave. And move towards the light, not sit with the darkness. Oh my God, what did I do? In what ways did I hurt her? And that could be there, except it won't help anything. What will help everything is if I can move back towards the light, take that experience and behave better in all of the times that I'll be talking to people for the rest of my life. Remember it, but don't beat myself up with it. These are important lessons as we go, because they allow us, all of those other thoughts, they're like tethers on a balloon. Our soul is the balloon. And there's so many ways that we're holding it down. And one by one, we're learning how to let go of them so our soul can soar. And we're not then this person having occasional experiences. We're living in that. We're living that experience. That's what enlightenment is. That's what samadhi is. Bliss beyond imagination of expectancy. From joy I came, for joy I live. It's just, that's where we're going. So keep heading back